My name is Aya, and this is my story. When I was really young, I began struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts. I began cutting myself in the 5th grade, and I had my first suicide attempt in 6th grade in the school restroom. When I grew older, I started experiencing tormenting nightmares and sleep paralysis, in which I also started doing witchcraft by the age of 15. It started off with, I saw it on social media and I thought it was cool to do, like astrology and crystals. But the more that I looked into it, I started going to these stores, buying books about witchcraft, and then I started doing tarot card readings. And I also started doing, started astral projecting in my sleep. And it led me to a darker place. By the time I was 17, I was in a really bad place in witchcraft, but I also had ended up pregnant. I became a teen mom at 18, and my depression from there and my cutting situation got worse from there. I was not in the right situation with my now husband, and I was still dealing with family problems at home. I blamed God for everything that was going on in my life. I would ask him, if you were real, then why are all these bad things happening to me? Why have you forsaken me? And why have you left me in a place like this? And I just had so much resentment towards him. When I was 19, I was on my floor, and this was July 2023. And I was by my closet. I was trying to write in my grimoire, which is a book for witches. And I didn't have the drive for it anymore. I was just sitting there at my wit's end, and God told me that I needed to go to church with my family. And the next Sunday, I had gone to the sanctuary church. And that day, I gave my life to Jesus. And after that, my life has radically changed. I had spoken to one of the sisters at church. Her name is Sister Laura, and she told me to give them 1 year of my life, and I did. And my life, I will never go back to the way that I used to do, and the life that I used to live, and the way that I used to be. I've been almost 2 years clean from cutting myself. I no longer practice witchcraft. And now I live in a life where I dedicate my life to Jesus Christ. I read somewhere that instead of taking my life, I gave it to someone who wanted it. And Jesus Christ took my life and he turned it around and transformed me. Super duper crazy. And now I want to be a role model to other teenagers who might be going through the same way. Maybe it's not witchcraft, or maybe it's not self-harm or depression, but I just want to tell them that there is life besides that. It doesn't have to be all dark. It doesn't have to be all sad. It doesn't have to feel like you have no purpose on the earth. Because the Sanctuary Church, this church changed my life, and God has used this church to change many other people's lives. I just thank this church for showing me grace. I was a teen mom. I didn't think that people would welcome me, but they did. They welcomed me with open arms. They welcomed my son, and they love him very much. And I thank this church, and I thank God for everything that he has provided me with in this church.